and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, from worst to best. Ratt Out of the Cellar, song by song. It's been out for 40 years, 40th anniversary, so it's a classic.
All right, well, let's go on to this Ratt Out of the Cellar. It's been out for 40 years. A pretty damn big record when it came out. So it's classic now. Classic metal record. And we pulled all our numbers in like we usually do. And then we got our best to worst, or worst to best. We have from 10 to 1. There's 10 tracks. The album came out in 1984. I believe Bo Hill, I think, was the producer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bo Hill was the producer. It was out on Atlantic Records. And the odd little thing that we talked about before, or a little fun fact, is that Tony Katane is on the album cover.
Yeah.
Who she was probably seeing Robin Crosby at the time, is what I believe.
Yeah. She was on the Invasion of Your Privacy, and she was on the EP. So,
she was on the EP too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's her leg that the rats are crawling on.
Wow. So,
and that's her right there on the cover, out of the cellar, and that's her. I'm pretty sure that's her on Invasion of Your Privacy.
She wasn't in the video though.
No.
The round video.
I'm wrong. That's not her on the Invasion of Privacy, but that is her leg on the EP.
So the first two.
Yeah.
All right. Coming in at number 10, Scene of the Crime. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I think I gave this a 5. It's fair. It's definitely probably the weakest or second to weakest one. I think there's one even worse than this. But maybe. Yeah, it's definitely in my bottom 2. It's it's kind of like a throwaway track. I mean, it has some moments in that song that I think are kind of cool, but other than that, I don't really need to hear it.
Mike D, Scene of the Crime.
I gave this a 5. It was pretty bad. I think I probably even rated it higher than I should have. I just picture Stephen Piercy running around in his fishnets with a gun chasing his ex-love around. I don't know. Weird song.
I gave it a 5 also. All three of us gave it a 5. It's got a cool intro, but I think the song's pretty boring.
It does. Yeah, the intro's cool.
The intro's good. All right, guys, coming in at number 9, She Wants Money. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, what did I give it, a 4? It's easily my least. Probably, and Ratt is probably one of my favorite bands. I love Ratt. I think all the records they put out in the 80s are, man, fucking great. And I think quality-wise, I think they had probably some of the better songs than, say, like Motley Crue or something. I mean, top to bottom, their records, but they just didn't have, the management and the controversy and all the other stuff that some bands use to build publicity and make their legendary, status even bigger. But with that being said, She Wants Money is probably one of my least favorite songs that they've ever written. I gave it a 4.
Mike D.
I gave this one a 6, way too high. I probably should have gave it a 5. I mean, the music wasn't bad in it, but it was just bad, kind of cheesy bad.
She Wants Money. I gave it a 5. I'm going to go with my saying. Not a big fan of this tune. Not for me.
It's not for me.
Not for me. Coming in at number 8, I'm Insane, Demo.
Yeah, I like this, man. It's a pretty short song too. 2 minutes and 54 seconds. I like the intro, and and the chorus I like. Verses are okay, but it's a classic Rat track. I mean, it's a classic Rat deep, sort of like a deep track, but they pull it out. They play it live once in a while.
Do they really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike D, I'm insane.
6.5. Gives you all the details of why he's insane. So it kind of makes you not insane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's all right.
I'm insane. I gave it a 6.5. It's kind of bland. It's a filler track. It got a good solo. Got a real good solo, I think.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a filler track for me. The solo is really good.
It's not for you.
Pretty good. It's not. Well, it's not for me, but it's okay.
It's not for me.
Coming in at number 7, In Your Direction, Damo.
I don't have my scores. What did I give this one?
You gave In Your Direction. You gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, it's a good track. Probably on another day I would have rated it higher. Yeah, Stephen Pearcy wrote this one by himself. Probably it is the only song on this record that he wrote alone. I think it's a cool tune. It's got some cool parts. Not one of my favorites, but definitely good.
Yep. Mike D, In Your Direction.
I gave us a 7. I like the riffs in it, but it sounded like a Rat song. No mistake in that.
Yeah. I gave it a 7. Good, solid tune. Nothing really special except for that solo. The solo's great, but it's a good song. I think it was, a lot of good solos on the Rat stuff. Warren DeMartini's a beast. I remember, did Robin Crosby play solos too, or I don't remember. He did. They both did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't want to give all the credit to one guy.
You know what? Though? This
especially
album,
on this album,
it had really good production on most of the tracks.
Oh yeah, I think most of their records
for that time was
good.
Probably a big plus.
Well, you got Beau Hill. Beau Hill's another legendary producer guy,
But at the time, he wasn't. I mean, he was. He wasn't. I mean, they kind of made him Rat.
Yeah. Yep. Coming in at number 6, The Morning After. What do you got, Damo?
What did I give this one?
You gave The Morning After 7.75.
Yeah, I love the riff, man. It's I don't know, it's sleazy, man. It's just fucking Rat is so goddamn good. It's a great one.
Mike D.
I gave it a 6.5. It was all right. I'm not a huge Rat fan to begin with, so I'm trying to rate these the way a Rat fan would rate them.
Yeah, I got you. Morning After, not a bad tune. I think it's pretty good. It's a good filler track. It's good. It's not a hit, but it's not a bad song either. It's an album track. I don't know about if it's a deep cut. Is it a deep cut? It might be a deep cut.
Yeah, it's an album cut that they do play live from time to time.
You know what? If I can remember, and I'm going off the top, I'm not going to look it up. I'm going off the top of my head. I believe I had the Round and Round 45 single, and I think Morning After was the B-side. I'm going to have to check into that, but I believe Morning After might have been the B-side.
It was.
I just keep thinking of
it was. Did you see it? Yeah, it was the B-side. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming in the top 5 here. You're in trouble. Damo.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're in trouble. The riffs are so good.
Yeah.
There's like so much going on in between and everything, and the choruses are great, and they still got balls. Yeah, it's a great one, man.
Mike D, You're in Trouble.
Yeah, this is a really good song. I gave it a 7.5.
Wow, I like this song, and you gave it even a higher score than I gave it. I gave it a 7. It's a good tune. It's a good tune. The chorus makes it though. It's okay to me. The guitar works great. The song itself, melody wise and all, it's okay, but the chorus is great. I like the chorus. It's memorable. Coming in number 4, Lack of Communication. What you got there, Damo?
But I think I gave us a 9.
You gave Lack of Communication
Or
9.5.
Yeah, it's my second favorite track on the record, man. I love this song. I love the riff with the odd time signature on it. Drop D, heavy.
Yeah, and for back then, it was different.
Yeah, people associate Drop D with like
The grunge stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, Eddie Van Halen did it. Ratt did it on a lot of the stuff. A lot of Ratt songs had that kind of tuning. Lack of communication. There's a few songs on Invasion of Your Privacy with that tuning, but yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's catchy, it's fun. It feels like California, you know.
Yeah. Definitely that area. Yeah, especially at the time.
Yeah.
Mike D, I think you gave us a pretty good score, also.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. Yeah, I gave it a 7. I like the chants in it, the kind of monotone lack of communication.
It's great, ain't that great? I love that part too. I love that part too. I gave it a 7. I always liked this song. I always liked it. And like I said, it's not like this big chorus, but just got the lack of communication. It's
memorable. For years, I always thought it was lack of communication, it's back off.
Oh, really? I see. I said lack of to like what was Mandela effects or whatever you want to call it.
I thought that's what it was for years too. I just found it off.
That's what I just sang. Exactly the same thing.
I thought it was the same thing too, Albert.
Yeah. Lack of communication, back off.
Those sneaky rats.
Those little, dirty rats.
I always liked that song. I always liked that tune. Coming in at number 3, Back for More. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah. Classic song. I mean, I think every time, they haven't really been, they're kind of broken up, but every time they would go on tour, it was always back for more, back for more.
Yeah.
They really overused that. But yeah, as a song, it's one of the classic tracks. I actually like the version that's on the EP. This is the second time they recorded this. The one on the EP is basically like the version that they play live. It has like an extended part in the middle, like a breakdown kind of thing,
right?
Which is kind of cool. But they cut that out on this version.
Yep. Mike D
gave it a 6.5. It was a pretty good song.
Wow, I can't believe you only gave us a 6.5. Oh. Wow. What did you give it, Dame? What did you give it?
I don't know. You got all my scores.
Let me look. I got the scores here. Damo gave Back for More an 8.75.
Yeah. It's got that cool intro.
Yeah. Well, for me, Back for More is a 10. I gave it a 10. I gave 3 10s on this record, I think.
Hurt for More.
Yeah. This is just a great song. The intro is unbelievable. It's so good. Like, I'm sucked in from the intro. As soon as the intro hits, I'm like, it's so damn good. It's one of my favorite Ratt songs. The guitar, I can't say how good the guitar is in that beginning of it. And for the time it was released, it was a perfect song. Perfect for the time. Perfect. Going on to number 2. Wanted Man. What you got, Damo?
Great opener with that drum fill, and it's powerful. And then with the it's like powerful. It's
ballsy.
Really set the tone. It's got some balls. I like the verses. They're kind of like quiet, and the bass don't do. It's like just the bass and drums are like locked in, and nothing else. There's like the guitars are clean, and kicks in with the chorus. One of the classic tracks.
Yeah, you gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike D.
I also gave it an 8. Really cool song.
Yep. Wanted Man, another 10 for me. Great intro. I love it. I love the song. The vocals are really cool. Piercy, whether people like his voice or not, he is so distinctive. There's nobody that sounds
like him.
Sounds like him. Nobody. And he was one of those guys at that time when that music was out. He didn't sing really high. He wasn't one of those high operatic guys or high kind of Hollywood kind of singing guys or whatever. He was,
but he had his little.
Not bad though. I mean, he pretty much, it was just his sound.
Yeah,
it was just his sound. And, very distinctive sound.
His demeanor on stage, way different than anyone else from from that time period. Like he was just like fucking cool. Like he didn't run around and
He didn't have
wasn't happy slapping fight, doing all that and kicks and shit like that. He was just like cool. He was like prowl around the stage, and he just had like a really big cool factor.
Yeah, he was different. He was definitely different. Definitely different. All right, coming in at number 1. Round and round. It's a no-brainer. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I gave it a perfect 10. I mean, it's a perfect song. Everything about it, great song, great chorus, great verse, killer guitar solo, twin harmony solo. It's just great. Probably one of the top 5 or 10 songs from that decade, from that era. It was definitely their, song that they're most famous for.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a freaking classic. I mean, it's great.
Mike D, round and round.
Yeah, this is actually a great Ratt song. I gave this an 8. I know you gave it a higher, Bert. So
8's good though. For you, 8's good for this.
well, I mean, like Damien said, this is like when you think of Ratt, this is the song.
Yeah. Yep. I gave it a 10. If you never heard it, if you ever hear seconds of it, you know what it is immediately from the guitar. Great guitar riff, man. Cool vocals, catchy chorus, great solo. It's definitely, it's not my favorite Ratt song. I might like Want It Man or Back for More better. I might even like Lay It Down better.
I would probably go with Way Cool Jr., but
Way Cool Jr. was good because it was different. It was way different. Like that was out of the box for them. But
it wasn't out of the cellar.
What's that? It was way out of the cellar. It was a couple albums after, right? It was way out of the cellar. Dame with that, the dry humor. So taking all our points together as far as an album rating itself, we gave it a 7, which wasn't bad. 7's good. It's a good record. It's definitely
probably my fault.
Probably. No, I think it came in where Damien gave it a 7.395. I gave it a 6. You gave it a 6.8. I gave it a 7. So yeah. So, but it scored a 7. So 40 years after, it's still a good record. And also
40 years after.
So if you think about it, though, I don't know. The MTV videos. Like there was like 3 videos from here that were huge. I remember Motley Crue was in one. I don't remember which
Back for
one.
More, I think.
Was it Back for More where they were dressed up as cops and they pulled them over, right?
Yeah. And Want It Man, it was like an old West video. Yeah.
I kind of remember that
cool.
one.
The videos were cool. Yeah, and they're, I think people forget how big they were for a little bit. They were pretty big for a little bit.
Yeah, well, they all throughout the 80s, they always headlined their own arena tours. They didn't open up. They didn't really fall. I mean, they did a little. They were pretty much like status quo through the whole decade. Like they were just kind of like this.
Yeah. Now, what's going on now? Is Juan Crocier touring as Ratt now? What do you know anything?
Nah, he's just doing his tour called like The Other Voice of Ratt. And I mean, who has really interest is to see him,
right?
I want to see the whole band, but they just can't put it together. It's a shame.
Yeah. Who was Robin Crosby's replacement? Did they even replace him or no?
At the time, I mean, eventually Carlos Cavasto from Quiet Riot did, but trying to think who played. Well, they played it as a 4-piece for a while. I saw them in the late 90s. They just toured one guitar. Stephen Pearcy was playing guitar on some song.
Didn't Karabi play guitar at one time?
He did, yeah. And then I guess he was like, there was a guy, Kerry Kelly, who plays with Night Ranger now, and he was with Alice Cooper. So he was like the first guy. He was like the first replacement. And then he left, and they got Karabi, and then Carlos Cavasso replaced him.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure exactly. I don't even know really what the fallout was with the whole band or not. What's something with Bobby Blotzer, right? Something to do with him.
Yeah, it's about owning the name, or I think it was just personalities, really.
Yeah.
with them. I think it was more personalities. They just couldn't get along. I don't really know if if it was finances or whatever, but they did sue each other a few years ago.
They all seem to sue each other. Yeah. Now, if I remember, I might have this wrong. Wasn't Juan Crocier, if I'm saying it, I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Yeah, I think it's right.
That's right.
Or
Wasn't
Crocier or something.
Before Ratt, wasn't he in Dokken? Before they broke?
For a little bit. Yeah.
It was Dokken. Okay.
Yeah. I think his brother was in Dokken too. I think his brother played guitar, was a guitar player or something. I don't know.
That's it. That could be another episode we do. Family musicians.
Yeah.
Guys that are related that are in different bands. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to do the review on the Bon Jovi documentary, so that should be interesting. Yeah. Force Mike to watch that.
Thank you.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It should be good.
Yeah, documentary is usually always good, so.
Yeah, it should be good.
It could be about Milli Vanilli. It's probably going to be good,
I saw Milli Vanilli.
I heard that documentary was great, right, Dave?
It was great. Yeah, it was great. It was kind of fucked up too that they really the industry really came down hard on them, like really hard. Like when they were exposed at the end, like there's a press conference to show. It's like, man, you just feel for these guys. Now everybody does it.
You know what's crazy from what I heard from people. I guess they might have mentioned in the documentary. The guys could have actually sang. It was just the way it was the pronunciation of the words that might have not hit an American audience, right?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
Yeah, because the one guy who's still alive, I forget.
Is it Fab?
Rob Fab. So I think Fab was the one who died. I don't know. Whatever.
I think Fab's still around. I think.
Yeah, but they showed him singing live at some festival, and
it wasn't bad. I heard it. It was
bad. Good. Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So that's it. Mixtapes and tasty cakes. We'll see you guys next week.